Welcome to a Week 9 edition of Inside the Zone with Tom Davis of the News Sentinel. I'm Glenn Marini, and yes, it is the final week of the regular season. The sectional draw is already out. It's posted on our website, but we've got some huge matchups in Week 9 because, as you might expect, we're down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to conference championships. Congratulations to Snyder last week, clinching the SAC's victory bell for the first time since 2005. But pretty much the rest of the local conferences will be decided this coming Friday night, and we're going to start in the ACAC. Garrett, a big win over Leo, 20-6 last week. Garrett at Heritage. If Garrett wins, the Railroaders win it straight up in that conference.
And if Heritage wins and Leo wins, then it would end up being a three-way tie. But, you know, Garrett, really opportunistic defense last week against Leo, had 5 turnovers that they took from Leo. And a lot of people said, well, the weather was really bad. Well, you know, it rained on both teams. And so you got to give kudos to Garrett. You know, they had that early season loss to DeKalb, and then they bounced back and have just rolled ever since then. Really good on both sides of the ball. Heritage as well. This is going to be an interesting matchup because Heritage, I think, is more balanced offensively. Connor Sheehan can pass and can run, and then you throw in Will Kanapke and Brenton Lockett as well. Heritage has a really good running attack, but you know, I think Garrett, they're on a roll. They're confident. Coach DePue after the game said, hey, we're not shocked by beating Leo and being here and knocking them off after 26 games and all of that. So I think that the Garrett kids are really confident, and I think they're not intimidated about going on the road and battling the Patriots.
Yeah, Garrett forced 5 turnovers, including a key 69-yard interception returned by one of their defensive backs in the game against Leo. So how do you take on a Heritage team that is a little bit more balanced? And Sheehan has put up really big stats. So has Lockett. So has Kanapke.
Yes, Heritage is a little bit, we talk about the Heritage offense, but Heritage is also statistically a little bit better defensively, and they're playing at home. So it's kind of strange that, you know, I just have this vibe about Garrett because they're rolling so well. But then again, you know, give credit to Heritage. They battled Leo. They thought they ended up winning the game. So I think this is just a game that comes right down to the wire, and it's going to be a fantastic game.
Kyle Lanning, the defensive back, I couldn't remember. He had 2 picks. We hadn't called his name a whole lot this year, but he stepped up in the biggest game of the season for Garrett with 2 picks and that touchdown return. So you say it's going to come down right to the final
I think
whistle.
Garrett gets it done, final seconds.
All right.
Why don't you go the other way just to argue?
I'll go the other way just to argue. I like Heritage. It's not that I don't like Leo, but I think Dean Lehrman has this team ready right on the edge, and I think they could definitely push it over. Sheehan, I like the quarterback play. You know, we've had, of the last 8 weeks, 3 of them have been rain-filled, so that certainly affects the passing game. Maybe that'll be the case again this Friday.
A lot of seniors on Heritage's team.
Yeah, so I know Coach Lehrman likes what they bring, and perhaps their play in a clutch situation may count quite a bit. NHC got shaken up quite a bit last week with East Noble's 17-0 win at New Haven. Now the game of the week, as far as the NHC goes, is New Haven at Homestead, but New Haven does have 1 loss. If they lose, it's Homestead's outright. If they win, they're going to share it with Homestead. How do you see this one shaking out?
I see Homestead scoring against New Haven's defense. Here's the thing. New Haven's offense can't score enough to keep up with Homestead. Homestead just powerful on both sides of the ball this year, but in particular offensively. Frank Martin is a good running back. Grayson Baston didn't play last week, or at least wasn't in the box score, and so I'm curious about whether he'll be back.
Yeah, he's been battling that high ankle sprain all season long.
But, you know, Matt Skronik has had a really good year, 17 touchdowns and 1,300 yards. That's a nice backup to Zach Terrell last year. His first time playing this year. He's been really solid at quarterback. And then defensively, I think Homestead's really elevated their game this year over some of the past years. You know, they struggled a little bit with Norwell. Didn't really blow them out like we thought, but I just don't see New Haven being able to score enough to hang with Homestead in this game.
Aside from that, if New Haven wants to stay in this ball game, what are they going to have to do? Is it just as simple as them trying to stop Homestead offense?
Well, the New Haven defense has been good all season, and they were pretty good against East Noble. I mean, they were shut out, But they held East Noble to 17 points, and we've seen East Noble score a lot of points this year. So the New Haven defense has been pretty good all year long. In fact, some games they've been great. So they're going to really have to try to win this game with a great defense and getting enough offense to somehow hang with Homestead. I just don't think that they have the speed and the ability to do it, because Homestead has some playmakers. I mean, Isaac Griffith, Seth Coate will kill you through the air. And so I can't envision that New Haven's defense can slow Homestead's offense enough for them to win this game. I think Homestead ends up winning this comfortably by 17.
I think Homestead wins this one. I'm not surprised that East Noble beat New Haven the way East Noble has been really on a roll, but I am surprised that they got shut out.
17-0.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the final score.